Very good afternoon, my viewers. Welcome to Social Studies Hub. So already today we are discussed about the rise of Communist Party of China. In previous videos we are discussed about national liberation movements in the colonies and how the colonial countries faced many problems and how colonial countries fight against to the European powers. How the KMT party are also called as Guillaume Party are also called as National People's Party. It was led by Sun Yat-sen. We are discussed about Kuomintang Party and Sun Yat-sen ideas and how the and also we are discussed about the Chiang Kai-shek and how the Kuomintang Party was falls down. Today we are discuss about the rise of Communist Party of China. This is the 13th lesson of 10th class. The rise of Communist Party of China. When Japan was invaded China in 1937, Japan attacked on China in which year? 1937. So in 1937, China was exhausted. China was lost its economy, its armies. China had become a weak. China had made a weak in between 1945 and 1949. In this time, in China, the prices of the goods was increased 30% per month. All the Chinese people was destroyed their lives. Ordinary people was suffered so much. So in the China, the CCP party is there. The CCP party was formed in 1921 after Russian Revolution. So when was the CCP party was formed? In 1921. So after Russian Revolution happened occurred in which year? 1917. But CCP party was formed in which year? 1921. So Russian Revolution influenced many parts of the world. Our Indian leaders also inspired by the Russian Revolution. Who are the Indian leaders inspired by the Russian Revolution? Already you know, Jawaharlal Nehru, M.N. Rai, Rabindranath Tagore. These people was inspired by the which revolution? Russian Revolution. And also in Russia, a famous person is there. His name is Lenin. He is the Bolshevik party leader. He in Russia, the Lenin was started Bolshevik party, and also he distributed the land to landless people, and also he nationalized the factories and banks. So Lenin also established a new organization, new international organization. That organization name is Comintern. Comintern organization was formed in which year? 1918. So what is the goal of Comintern Party? Comintern Party help bring together all the countries. Comintern International Organization wanted world government, and it would and that would end exploitation. Comintern want end of the exploitation. So much exploitation is there. Exploitation means దోపిడీ చేస్తున్నారు ప్రజలని. సో ఎక్స్ప్లైటేషన్ మీన్స్ ఇలా దోపిడీ చేస్తున్నారు, దోపిడీ కాకుండా. సో కొమింగ్టన్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ దే వాంట్ వరల్డ్ గవర్నమెంట్, అండ్ ఆల్సో దే want to end the exploitation. So Comintern and Soviet Russia is supported to communist parties around the world. సో ఏ పార్టీస్కి సపోర్ట్ చేస్తాయి? కొమింటన్ కానీ రష్యా కానీ. కొమింటన్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్ అండ్ రష్యా ఆల్సో సపోర్టెడ్ టు విచ్ పార్టీస్? కమ్యూనిస్ట్ పార్టీస్ అరౌండ్ ద వరల్డ్. Communist countries followed. So communist country means say example for communist country. Russia is the communist country. Communist countries following Marxist ideas, traditional Marxist ideas. What is the Marxist idea? Traditional Marxist idea. Traditional Marxist idea is they believe, the Marxist or communist believe, working class people పనిచేసేటోళ్ళు, working class in the cities, they could bring a revolution. Working class in the cities, they could bring revolution. So China Communist Party had base in rural areas. So, but Comintern Party have base in which areas? Urban areas. But China Communist Party had base in which areas? Rural areas. So, rural area China people was faced two problems, two crises. The first problem is ecological problem. Ecological crisis means it belongs to environment. So the ecological problems are soil exhaustion, soil loses its fertility, and also deforestation. They are facing with which problem? Deforestation. And also they are suffered with problem, that is floods. And another problem is socio-economic problem, socio-economic crisis. It includes exploitation through land tenure system. It includes exploitation to land tenure system, because so many landlords are there in China. Landlords are frequently increasing their land rates, and they are frequently changing the peasants, and frequently they are giving different farmers. And also they are facing, China people are facing indebtedness. They are unable to pay money to landlords. They have sometimes they lost, sometimes they are lost in the agriculture. So, and also major problem, primitive technology. All the rural area people, they are using primitive tools, they have primitive technology they had. And also in rural area people, they are facing poor communication. So in this time, CCP party was leader is Mao Zedong. He is the Mao Zedong here. So Mao Zedong, he is the Mao Zedong. Mao Zedong taken a different path, basing the farmers or peasants. Based Mao Zedong was designed a program. He is based on which people? He taken a base on which people? Peasants and farmers. And also he worked for welfare of the farmers. He took a different path by basing his revolutionary program peasants and farmers. He organized, Mao Zedong organized Chinese peasants, Chinese Peasants Association. He organized Peasants Association. So these Peasants Association were fight against to abolition of landlordism. Chinese peasants were fight against to which people? Landlords. And also Mao Zedong built an army of peasants, Raitula Sainyam. uh, so Mao Zedong built which people? Army of peasants. And millions of landless peasants was joined in the CCP party, China Communist Party. He organized, Mao, Mao Zedong was organized strong peasant councils. The peasant councils name Soviet. Already we are discussing about the Russian Revolution. So Russian Revolution, Soviets formed Bolshevik party. Soviet includes farmers, soldiers, middle class people, laborers. So Mao Zedong also organized strong peasant councils. What is the work of peasant council? Peasant council occupy the land of landlords. Peasant councils occupy the land of Peasants council occupy the land of landlords, and it will be redistributed to landless people. What is the work of peasants council? Peasants councils occupy the or confiscation. Confiscation also we call as occupation. Japtu, ఆక్యుపై చేయడం, ఆక్రమించడం. సో దిస్ Soviets occupy the landlord's land, and it will be redistributed to the landless people. So this is the work of Soviets or Peasants Council. And also Mao Zedong stressed need of independent government and army. And also Mao Zedong stressed on which? Mao Zedong want independent government and army. Mao Zedong have so much awareness on women problems. And also he formed rural women associations. In China, women are facing many problems. Subordination of women are there, food food binding, evil practice, bad practice is there. Women are facing many problems. By the Mao Zedong understood problems of women, and he formed a Rural Women Association. Rural Women Association. Mao Zedong promoted new marriage laws. New marriage laws. He forbade arranged marriages. Arranged marriage ni అంటే ఈ ప్రమోటెడ్ విచ్ మ్యారేజెస్ న్యూ మ్యారేజ్ లాస్ అంటే కొత్త మ్యారేజ్ యాక్ట్స్ని ప్రమోట్ చేశాడు. అండ్ ఆల్సో ఈ ఫర్బేడ్ అరేంజ్డ్ మ్యారేజెస్ అంటే అరేంజ్డ్ చేసుకుంటారు కదా మ్యారేజ్, దాన్ని తీసేసిండు అంటాడు. బట్ ఈ ఫర్బేడెడ్ నాట్ ఆల్ అరేంజ్డ్ మ్యారేజెస్, ఈ ఫర్బేడెడ్ ఓన్లీ ఫోర్స్ఫుల్ అరేంజ్డ్ మ్యారేజెస్. ఇగో ఒక అబ్బాయి ఒప్పుకోకపోయినా నువ్వు వాన్నే చేసుకోవాలంటే చూడు, దట్ ఈస్ ఈ he forbade Mao Zedong forbade which marriages? Forceful arranged marriages. So Mao Zedong forbade arranged marriages, and also Mao Zedong stopped sale of marriage contracts and simplified divorce act. అంటే కాంట్రాక్ట్ కింద అమ్మాయిలని అమ్మేసేవాళ్ళట. సో Mao Zedong stopped the sale of marriage contracts and he simplified the divorce act. డైవర్స్ యాక్ట్ని సింప్లిఫై చేశాడు. సో he could succeed means Mao Zedong was succeed unite the peasants and all peasants in the China. CCP party become a powerful political party. It ultimately won against Guomindang party or KMT party. Which party was successful to unite the peasants in the China? CCP party. Which is the powerful party in the China? CCP party is the powerful party in China. How? Now, what is the idea? How Mao Zedong worked for China development? So Mao Zedong from 1928 to 1934, Mao Zedong was there at Jiangxi Mountains. Why he was in Jiangxi Mountains? Because many times Guomindang party attacked on Mao Zedong. So for his security, Mao Zedong was there in Jiangxi Mountains from 1928 to 1934. So after 1934, so Communist Party, Mao Zedong changed their base or their place from Jiangxi to Yan'an. So Communist Party leader Mao Zedong is there in Jiangxi Mountain from 1928 to 1934. After 1934, Mao Zedong changed their base from Jiangxi Mountains to Yan'an. So they went to long march. From Jiangxi to Yan'an. They went to long march. In long march means march fast means padayatra antaru. They went to long march 1934 to 35, which was grueling and difficult journey of 6,000 miles. So he long march from Jiangxi to which place? Shaanxi, and set up their base at Yan'an. He long marched from which place? Jiangxi. In which year? He long marched in 1934-35 year. Jiangxi to Shaanxi. Jiangxi to Shaanxi. How many miles he long marched? 6,000 miles. And set up their base at which place? Yan'an. Set up their place at which place? Yan'an. He long marched from Jiangxi to Shaanxi 6,000 miles. So and set their base at Yan'an. In Yan'an, Mao Zedong developed a new program to end warlordism. So the Mao Zedong want to end the warlordism. Warlordism means local militaries of regional militaries of China we call as warlordism. So Mao Zedong want to end the warlordism and carry out land reforms. They want to take what? Land reforms. And also they want to fight against foreign imperialism and foreign people. So foreigners are controlling the many resources in the China. He is against to foreign imperialism. He want to land reforms, and also Mao Zedong want to end the warlordism. Mao developed a twin agenda. The twin agenda includes land reforms and nationalism. What is the agenda of Mao Zedong? Land reforms and nationalism. By this twin agenda, the Mao Zedong party, CCP party, emerged as a strong party or successful party in the China. What is the twin agenda of CCP party or Mao Zedong? Land reforms and nationalism. So now we are discussing about Japan. Japan attacked Japan attacked the China and occupied much part of the China between 1937 and 1945. So Japan attacked on China. Japan occupied many places of China between which year? 1937 to 1945. Japan, they wanted to impose many cruel colonial military rule. Japan tried to impose colonial military rule over China. These had distress impact on the Chinese society and their economy. So, which country people was occupied the China? Japan. Japan people, they imposed which military rule over the China. China was distressed. China was lost. Chinese lost its society and their economy. Now in this situation, both KMT Guomindang party and CCP party, they have different ideas, but these two parties tried to join together and fight against Japanese occupation. These two parties joined together and fight against to the Japanese occupation as Japanese and against to the Japan country. But after Second World War, Japan was surrendered to the US. Japan was surrendered to America. America was dropped a bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Japan was surrendered to US in 1945. Now, after Japan was surrendered to US and Japan was given all the places to China, but after giving that places, KMT party and CCP party fight a war for control of over China. Actually, these two parties are joined. Both CCP party and KMT party was joined together and fight against the Japan occupation. After Second World War, the Japan was defeated. So Japan was surrendered to USA. So all the Japan was given the places of China. After that, KMT party and CCP party, these two parties was fight to control over the China. But eventually, CCP party was successful establishing the rule over the mainland of China. Which party was successful? Which party was establishing the rule over the China? CCP party. But Guomindang party or KMT party was set up a government in island of Taiwan. So Guomindang party was set up a government in which place? Taiwan. But CCP party was set up a government in which place? Mainland of China. Now our topic is establishing the new democracy. So republic government was formed in which year? China is transformed. China has changed as a republic country. In which year China was changed as a republic country? In which year republic government was formed in China? In 1949. Republic government was formed based on new democracy principles. Republic government was formed on principles of new democracy. Republic government was formed on based on new democracy principles. When was the China was converted as a republic country? 1949. Republic government was formed on principles of new democracy. These principles includes, these are the principles was, what are the new democracy principles? The principles are association of all social classes. Association of all social classes who are opposed to the landlordism and imperialism. Association of all social classes who are opposite to the landlordism and imperialism. The economy were put under control of government. Economy ever control lo undali? The main part of the economy is put or keep under control of the government. Is CCP implemented land reforms in the country. Land reforms in the country. What CCP party? Republic country was China was changed as a republic country in which year? 1949. So the republic and government was formed on based on which principles? New democracy principles. New democracy principles includes association of all social classes, and economy is under control of which people? Government. Economy is under control of government. And also CCP party implemented what? Land reforms or reform measures. Land reform measures. The new government also provided also formed laws for the protection of women. CCP government managed to enact the laws. CCP government was formed the laws for the protection of women, their rights and abolition of polygamy. ఒక్కొక్కరికి చాలా వైఫ్స్ ఉన్నారు కదా. సో ఫర్ ద అబలిషన్ ఆఫ్ పాలిగమీ, ఫర్ ద ప్రొటెక్షన్ ఆఫ్ ఉమెన్, సిసిపి పార్టీ మేడ్ మెనీ యాక్ట్స్. నెక్స్ట్, land reforms. Land reforms was taken by which party? CCP party. Land reforms was launched in which year? 1950-51. But republic in China, republic of government was formed in which year? 1949. Land reforms was launched in which year? 1950 and 51. So now what are the steps in the land reforms? First of all, they identified the identification of all people living in the village. Identification. What is the first step of land reforms? Identification of all people living in the villages. Means they identified, government should identify the people who have land, the people who did not have land. So which people have more land? So the government should identify the peoples living in the villages. And also next step, they follow confiscation. Confiscation means the people, government should occupy the landlord's land and it will be redistributed to the landless people. Confiscation means occupy చేయడం. ఎవరి ల్యాండ్స్ ఆక్యుపై చేయాలి? landlord's land. So government should occupy the landlord's land and it will be redistributed to the landless people. In this distribution of land, work teams and land reforms committees played a crucial role in the distribution of the land in the China or in the land reforms. Which people are played a key role? People are played a leading role in this process? Work teams and land reform committees. And other function, the other main work was set of the work teams and land reform committees set up a peasants association, raitula sangam, farmers association. And also they set up what? Farmers association and activists from them local leadership position. They set up peasants association. From that peasants association, they will elect another local leader for their village. This leadership was mostly came from poor and middle class families, middle class peasants. So this leadership was, most of the leaders was came from poor peasants and middle class peasants. In many areas, middle class peasants were able to dominate. Which people was dominated? Middle class people, because they were more skilled than poor people or poor peasants. Middle class peasants were able to dominate because they are skilled. Work teams mobilized in the villages against to the landlords through mass meeting and trials. So work teams mobilized the villages people against to which people? Landlords, through mass meetings and trials. So landlords were made humiliated. Landlords was insulted by the public meetings, by the public. Many landlords was executed. Many large number of landlords were executed or hanged in these trials. Many landlords was hanged, chanipoyarata. The perhaps 10 to 20 lakhs landlords was died. So in this China, 43% of cultivated land was successfully distributed to the landless farmers. The about 60% of the population. How many people getting the land by land reforms. 60% of Chinese people got land. So 43% of China's cultivated land. How much cultivated land was given to poor people? 43%. How many people was benefited? How much percentage of people have benefited from this land reform? 60% people was benefited by the land reforms. Poor peasants and middle class peasants was poor peasants and middle class peasants were benefited through redistribution of land or land reforms. After that, the old elite means rich family. The old elite had lost its economic assets. Old elites and పాత సంపన్న వర్గాలు. Old పాత rich people. Old rich people means who are the old rich people? Landlords. Old elite had to lose its economic assets. Old old elites people was lost its economic assets and power, while a new elite class village people was emerged from poor and middle class people. Old elite had lost its economic assets. A new elite was came from emerged from poor and middle classes. And also Mao Zedong implemented land reforms. Along with the land reforms, he also set up adult peasant schools. Who set up schools in the China? Mao Zedong. Who implemented the land reforms in the China? Mao Zedong. So, and along with the land reforms, Mao Zedong setting up adult peasant schools, and also for increasing the literacy, for increasing the political education in the China. So Mao Zedong was set up adult peasant schools, and also Mao Zedong established primary schools. Primary schools also set up both young children and adults. And primary schools was also established in the villages for the young children and adults. China was China has had solid bases. China is the strongest country. China has solid bases because solid bases for future development due to successful implementation of land reforms and universalization of education. China has the strongest country because successful implementation of land reforms and universalization of education. By these two programs, China was a strongest country. China have a solid base for the future development. CCP party, after this, CCP party was emerged as a powerful party in the country. CCP party ruled many years, and CCP party only single party is there in China. CCP party is a powerful party. No opposition parties are not there in China. Only CCP party was emerged a powerful party in the China. So this is about China Communist Party. Mao Zedong implemented land reforms, and also he set up adult peasant schools, and also he set up primary schools. He distributed the land to poor and middle class people. Middle class people was emerged as a elite class people. And also how much percentage of land was distributed? 43%. How much percentage of people was got land? 60% of people. So how many landlords was died? Many landlords was hanged. What are the work teams was played a key role in the distribution of land for selection of people. So, and also he formed Mao Zedong formed Peasants Association. Land reforms was launched in which year? 1950-51. When was China was changed as a republic country? In 1949. So this is about CCP party and about Mao Zedong. And next we will discuss about Nigeria country. How Nigeria got many problems. How Nigeria faced many problems. How Nigeria fight against to the Britain. So it will be discussed in later classes.